radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
All right. Good evening. How you doing? It's Fade to Black. Today's Monday, April 17th, 2023. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, and I am back. 1 week out to sea. And tonight is our Hidden Secrets Cruise recap special. I've got video, I've got pictures, I've got stories, and we're going to go through all of that. And that's right. We took a cruise to Mexico. It was absolutely amazing. So yes, I've got video and images from the entire week, and we will get to all of that. But up first tonight, director Ron James is joining us. And he's here for the first segment tonight because we are going to announce the world premiere of his new film. It is Accidental Truth. It premieres tomorrow, April 18th. Coincidentally, I think not, the day before the UFO hearing in Washington, D.C. And with that, I would like to welcome back to Fade to Black, Ron James. Ron.
Hey, Jimmy, how are you?
I'm fantastic, sir. Big day tomorrow. You excited?
Yeah, as of midnight tonight, people will be able to buy the film and watch it. And then I think they're going to put it up for rent in another week. So it is a coincidentally historic date, isn't it?
Yeah, you're glowing, you're smiling. It's a lot of work to direct a film. You've been directing and producing content for a couple of decades now. The volume of stuff that you have worked on, it's like yay long. I remember when we first met 10 years ago, and you said, Jimmy, come over here. I want to show you some of my stuff. And you had everything on display. Well, not everything, but, and I was like, holy crap, what? And then, I went and looked at your stuff, and we've been working together for years now. But you've been at this for a very long time. And it just seems that finally we're kind of here. Do you feel it? Is disclosure getting close? Have you ever felt this kind of action before? It's got to be a tremendous feeling for you.
Well, I can honestly say that, this film, some of the interviews go back to 2007. So I've been working on it literally 2 years in the edit room and another, 15 years almost of production. And after this film drops, for those that choose to watch it and take the time to pay attention to what we're sharing, we're not leaving these guys any more room. There is nowhere left to go. There was a little bit of air between having to make the big admissions and what they're willing to say now. And Accidental Truth, the film, I think, does a pretty good job of sucking out that remaining air. There's nowhere left to go.
You let me pop this up here because this is pretty cool. The film is already winning awards. They're great movie poster, by the way. I'm going to be wearing my official Accidental Truth t-shirt later on this week on Wednesday, the big day of the UFO hearing. But you've got a bunch of awards here, man. What's going on with this?
Well, we started entering festivals and competitions as soon as we turned in the final version of the film to the distributor, and it's just been racking them up. We're up to 9 so far, and the film's not even out. So we've got a couple of best of festival, we got a couple of best documentary, we got a lot of like second place awards, and then of course you were hosting when this one was won. I have it right here, the Parapod Award. I was actually really stoked to win this one because I like the trophy so much.
Yeah, I know.
So I remember I got up and I said, yeah, out of all the awards we've won so far, this is the one I wanted the most.
I'll have to admit, and here it is right here. It's an amazing custom, trophy. And when I saw those, I was like, man, is it unethical to give myself one of these? Because I wanted one.
Well, you could be it for next year.
Oh man, I don't care if I just make a fake.
It's a cool looking award. I mean, it really is. It's like got the alien with the film. We don't have the EBE awards anymore. I've won my share of those, but I don't think we're going to see them again.
Right.
The little alien with the movie camera. So
yeah. Those are great. Those are great. Well, okay. So tomorrow, this is Amazon and all the streaming services.
Yeah, pretty much. So far it's only showing Apple and Amazon and Roku, I think, and Redbox, but that's because that was the pre-orders. At midnight tonight, it'll drop across Hulu and Vudu and all of the basic streaming services. So no matter what you like, you'll be able to get it.
Now, are you going to do what I did? Are you going to purchase your own film?
Well, I think I've paid enough already, but yeah, why not?
I did. I paid for everyone. I was like, man, I'm going to do this. Man, click. Yeah. I mean, it was just, it's just a moment. And you work really, really hard and you click on and pay, for other content. Why not pay for your own? Go through.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. I hadn't thought about it, but I'm nervous at this point just to see how it's going to be received publicly. It's done very well at film screenings. It's gotten excellent reviews. It's winning awards, but the real test is John Q. Public, and you just don't know. So we'll know shortly.
Let me ask you this. Here we have the second UFO hearing. This one's with the Senate. The first one was with the House subcommittee. This is with the Senate on Wednesday. The title of the film is Accidental Truth. Without disclosing personal conversations, and we're not going to do that, but you and I had a lot of those over the last couple of years as you have putting this film together. And your take was over and over again with me, Jimmy, this film has to be made. It has to be made. People have to see this. They have to see where the truth lies and how to read between the lines. Can you tell us about the title, Accidental Truth?
Yeah, so there's a whole lot of meaning behind the movie poster. If we have time, I'll share it. But the reason it's called Accidental Truth is because we have these front-facing guys like the Christopher Mellons and the Ralph Blumenthals and Lou Elizondo, who we have an old interview with him that I shot personally that has never seen the light of day until now. These guys are all tasked with basically towing a line, whether we approve of that or not. There's things they could say and there's things they can't say, and they're not in charge of who makes that decision. But it was my goal to ask these guys the right questions and somehow or another get information that they didn't want me to know. And the reason it's called Accidental Truth is because there's a lot of, shall we say, slips of the tongue that were caught on camera that really tell the story way better than, if you were just trying to present anecdotal evidence.
You've done thousands of interviews, literally. And I know how it goes when you conduct that many interviews, because you start to hear things that don't add up from not only previous interviews, but maybe even previous interviews with the exact same person. Right.
Yeah. We have a lot of that in the film. We've got 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you do? Do you keep it inside and just like file it away for future reference when you need it, like this film?
Yeah. The idea for Accidental Truth came from my initial interview with Elizondo when he said some things that were just very, very revealing. And then that was the core of the film when I first started out with it. But I got so many other people doing the same exact thing that he's just one of many at this point. And yeah, it's like there was a lot of things that were told to me that didn't add up. And I did file them, just like you said. And when I went back and revisited some of these people, we've got 2 or 3 interviews with Colonel John Alexander, and he finally opened up to really make some serious revelations in this film that are not public. And that's pretty exciting. But yeah, it's been like that.
Do you think, I mean, like the oldest like quote that you can do in a situation like this, ruffling feathers. That's inevitable with this film. Are you prepared to go in, not necessarily a defensive posture, but there's going to be some people coming after you?
Well, I was pretty much concerned that they were going to come after me the whole time I was making the movie. And there was a lot of times when I really thought that this thing might not see the light of day. In fact, here we are 6 hours away from when it will actually be live to the world. And I'm still not going to believe it till I see it. It's been a treacherous road, and I could tell you some stories, but we don't have time. But yeah, I mean, this has been a scary film to make, and we're not pulling any punches. But one thing that I managed to do in a very, very quality manner is that we're taking people that are blatantly unwilling to tell us the truth, that know things that they're not going to share with us. They're in this film. They're paraded in front of us. They're clearly not being as candid as we want them to, but nobody is villainized or denigrated in this film. And so, when we say there might be some people that are upset, I tend to think that the level of respect that I gave these people is going to get me a pass in a lot of ways, because I'm not poking anybody in the eye in this film. I'm not calling anybody dishonest. I'm not doing anything that denigrates or villainizes any of the characters, and the audience can make up their own minds about how they feel about the obvious fact that this is being covered up. But that's up to the audience. We don't ask the audience to feel any certain way. So I walked a very delicate line of not alienating people that at the same time are clearly not being completely honest with what they know.
You and your team, you've been spending a lot of time in Washington, D.C. And some of that you've made public, and now it's definitely public because I just said it. And you have been hearing things. You can tell me what you want, okay? But the question is this: how supportive is Capitol Hill with the UFO UAP question versus what you see and hear in the media? Is there a difference?
So, I'm the media relations director for MUFON, as well as owning MUFON Television. And one of the things that we've been doing is we have A10 and Associates, which is a lobbying firm, a very well-placed lobbying firm that's been working with us in Washington to get MUFON a seat at the table in these conversations. And so, just within the last about 45 days, I went to Washington, D.C. I personally had lunch with Andre Carson. I met with Tim Burchett again to announce to him and let him know that the film was coming out because he's in it. And a couple other sitting Congress people to talk about UFOs. And the takeaway that we're getting is that your rank and file members of Congress are just as aggravated as the rest of us, because they know they're not getting a straight answer from the military and their people. So MUFON was actually very instrumental in getting that first hearing done. We worked directly with Gallagher and Gillibrand and Andre Carson to bring it about. And we've also been able to have an influence on the languaging of the latest legislation in regards to the military accountability back to 1945. That was originally 1947. And it was us that went into the meetings and said, no, we need those extra 2 years because there were some things that happened before Roswell, and we need accountability for that. So we got that changed to 1945. And now legally, the military is supposed to come forward with all of their records of anything of this nature going back to 1945. And we've been working on that behind the scenes in DC, and we've moved the needle. And the people in Congress have become our partners. We're providing quarterly now a report to both the House and Senate Intelligence Committees on UFO activity all around the world that MUFON gathers. And so they're relying on that data to help them make sense of it all.
How do you think this hearing on Wednesday will differ from the hearing that we had with the House last May? I mean, this time around, it's the Senate. That right there is an entirely different situation. But what do you think, and what do you expect to hear on Wednesday?
As Lou said when he was interviewed about the first hearings, frankly, not much. As you've probably been taking note of, ever since this stuff first rolled out, and there's going to be this panel doing this over at DOD, there's going to be this group doing this at Defense Intelligence Agency, NASA's jumping in and they're going to do stuff. There have been more acronyms for new groups that are going to study this thing than there have been groups actually doing the work. And when we had the first hearings, it was a dog and pony show of compartmentalization. They're rolling out a new narrative that is basically nothing happened between Project Blue Book and ATIP, which Accidental Truth is all about exposing that that's not true. So, we're probably just going to get another a set of witnesses, maybe a little bit of additional evidence and video, but my guess is it's going to be more compartmentalization. These guys were asked about the Theta Giant that Salas talks about, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't know anything about that. That's not in our purview, because it's in another department. So this whole thing is, they're already building the stovepipes, and that's what they're going to rely on to just keep beating around the bush. So I'd love to see something more of a revelation, but I'm telling people, watch Accidental Truth on Tuesday, watch the hearings on Wednesday, and you'll know the depth of the deception.
Yeah, you can land somewhere in the middle, right?
Yeah, it may be.
Yeah.
That would be nice. I'd take the middle, actually.
I noticed in the media, Ron, and maybe you caught this too as well, but this comment was pretty interesting, that the Senate is going to use this hearing as an opportunity to ask for more money for investigations into UAP and UFOs. I can see that and feel that coming, but if that is what the part of the intention is, I mean, certainly they want to find out what's going on, but
they don't already know.
Exactly. Right. But it's always about the money, for sure. And if they take that approach, then they also have to present a reason for asking for the money. Right? You can't have one without the other. What do you think that they're going to present to say that this is a concern?
Well, here we go again with the threat narrative. I mean,
right.
Like Dr. Greer and I are on different pages some of the time, but there's one thing we're on the same page about, is that, this threat narrative it's an interesting vehicle. It's serving an agenda. But I don't really think that it's the one that we should be embracing. But unfortunately, as we cover in the movie, it's the only narrative that's really going to get engagement on Capitol Hill. If you don't have this potential threat, then there's really no reason for the body politic to engage this issue. And so, from the early days, Lou Elizondo understood this. Chris Mellon understood it when they were going and first trying to get support before we ever knew who they were. Without the threat narrative, there's no real support in Congress. But I hope if they're going to raise money, it's for legitimate investigation and not to design new weapons to shoot flying saucers out of the sky.
Yeah, and the first time around we had Moultrie and Bray. This time around, the only that I have been able to officially is Sean Kirkpatrick of Arrow is going to now. I don't know if he's going to answer questions. I've read that he's going to do a presentation. Do you have a witness list, or do you know who's going to appear for questioning?
Well, I know our lobbyist in D.C. knows, but she's not telling me. I asked her right before we came on the air. I'm like, come on, tell me something. But yeah.
I find that part strange. I mean, at least we had Moultrie and Bray out of the gate. I don't anticipate those two coming back, but who would the Senate want to hear from? It's not going to be the Sean Kilpatrick show, I don't think.
No, but we've been telling these guys, we've had over 200 meetings on the Hill with staffers and sitting members of Congress, and we've given them a list of who they need to be talking to. It's like, get Wilson in front of the group, get him behind closed doors with his clearances. There's a lot of people that could blow the lid off this thing. Get Bigelow in. There are so many people that behind closed doors could enlighten these guys if they're given the freedom to talk without repercussion. And that's what we're going to be dealing with soon, is that the whistleblower protocols are going to come into play, and we're going to start seeing some serious witnesses. Granted, behind closed doors probably, but Congress is going to start getting the scoop, and then they're going to decide what they're going to share with us.
Now, on Wednesday, I'll make the announcement now. We are going to live stream the hearing here on Fade to Black. Ron's going to join me, and we're gonna stream it. We'll have everybody in the chat room. We'll have Twitter running, and we'll be able to take questions and maybe have a post-hearing wrap-up. I thought so. We'll see everybody here Wednesday morning. But I thought that the last hearing was pretty short. And if we take out all of the delays of that video that took up 15 minutes of trying to figure out how to hit rewind, if you remember that.
Yeah.
The hearing itself was probably only about 30 minutes. It was over fairly quickly. How long do you think this is going to go on for?
Well, it's going to depend on the number of witnesses, obviously, but to me, these things are still just going through the motions. They're satisfying the public. They're trying to get forward momentum on the issue, but at the same time, you remember how Marco Rubio was so vocal about this whole issue right up until he went into that confidential briefing, and then it's crickets from Rubio. And so, I think that behind closed doors, these guys are like, look, we could do this disclosure thing to a certain point, but there's a lot of reasons why we can't take it any further. And here's some of them. And I think that behind closed doors, they're not being forced to keep a secret. They're being reasoned with as to why the secret needs to be kept. And it's a lot easier to get somebody to go along with your agenda if they agree with you about the reason than scaring them or intimidating them. And so I think what's going on is they're getting enough information behind closed doors to cooperate in how this gets rolled out, if at all.
I can already hear it. I'm assuming that you're going to have the public hearing, then you're going to have the classified hearing.
I heard they're going to be in opposite direction order. So they're going to have the classified hearing first, and then they're going to have the public hearing. Yeah.
Oh.
And the reason for that is that these guys are going to come out of this classified hearing with questions that they know they can ask. That are really going to push the envelope. So we'll see if they take advantage of that. We really hope they do.
They're going to come out of that like,
How come you look so good and I look so gray? I got to learn how to adjust the camera and stream.
I've got a really nice camera, and it's got this filter on it. It's called Kick Ass. That's the filter that I run.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'll get you one. I'll get you. Man, you're the film director. You're the guy that's running around framing shots.
Yeah, but this stuff is.
Man, I've seen your setup. I've sat in your setup. I've been interviewed in front of you. You're a baller. You're asking me about why my camera's so good? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because it's like, this is podcasting. I'm using a $300 laptop with a crappy camera, obviously. And, there's some things that you can't be good at everything. So if you can't figure something out, you got to ask the master. So it's like, Jimmy, how come your setup looks so much better than mine?
What am I going to do with you, Ron?
If you ever need a studio, where.
Yeah, I know. Man. It's really nice up there, down there where you are at. It's a big night, Ron. Congratulations on the film. I can't wait for everybody to check it out. I was telling everybody on the cruise this weekend, over the past week, when we got the breaking news about the hearing on the 19th, and that became the chatter of the cruise. I had told everybody, Jennifer Stein was with us on the cruise too as well. And Bob Terrio, man, I got to hang out with Bob.
Bob's cool as heck. Yeah.
Man, Bob is he is the cool side of the pillow, that Bob Terrio, man. Let me tell you something. I ate dinner with him every single night. I said, look, accidental truth is amazing, but I've got 6 seconds in this film, and it's the best.
I had to put you in there, dude, because both times you said something very compelling, and the first time was kind of humorous, but it kind of reflected how we all felt in 2017. And yeah, for the audience, Jimmy says he heard about the Blumenthal story in the New York Times on the radio driving in LA. And what'd you say?
I almost crashed my car. That's a true story.
It's priceless, and people love it in the film. Yeah.
And I'm driving down the road, Ron, me, right? And I had just done, I think it was Coast the night before, and I think the news broke. I could be wrong here, but it feels like it was like on a Saturday or something. And but anyway, I'm driving down there. I was like, what did he just say? And this is how it was announced on KFI, right? The biggest talk radio station in the country, 6:40 a.m. in Los Angeles. And he goes, the Pentagon has a secret UFO program. We'll tell you all about it after this break. Right? I'm like, what? It was, I couldn't, I pulled over my car, man. I pulled over. I waited for the commercials to end to hear that. Then I drove straight to my studio and went live. Yeah. That's a true story.
It was huge. And then, your summary, we won't tell them what it is, but after all of that, after all the years we went through it, and after all and all the people that popped up with promises, look what we ended up with. And you summarize that as well as could be expected. So yeah, I'm glad you're in it.
It's man, this is a special film, and it couldn't have been timed any better. So enjoy your night, enjoy your day tomorrow. It's going to be marvelous. And then we'll see you right back here on Wednesday for our special live stream of the Senate UFO hearing right here on Fade to Black. Thank you so much, Ron.
Accidental Truth. But let's not forget, it's narrated by Matthew Modine, and he really brought it home.
Man,
I forgot to mention that. I'm in trouble.
No, we've got to get Matthew on the show. I know he's busy and he's doing stuff, and we've talked about it, but we've got to get Matthew on here, man.
He's going to be back from London. He's playing the lead role in To Kill a Mockingbird in the London version of Broadway, but that's about to end. So he's going to be back in the U.S., and we're trying to round him up.
Yeah, it's going to be.
He's
great.
Very supportive of the film, which you can't buy that kind of support. So
love that. We all love Matthew Modine. Enjoy your night, Ron.
Thank you.
I can't believe it's here. World premiere tonight at midnight. You can go and get Accidental Truth. I'll see you on Wednesday, Ron. Enjoy.
Awesome, Jimmy. Thank you.
The absolute best. Ron James right there. And now, as I kind of shift gears here, thank you so much, Ron. As I shift gears, I am now going to do my recap. I'm not going to do a commercial break. I'm going to roll right into this. I just got back from a 7-day cruise, actual 7 days. Technically, it was kind of 8 because it went Friday to Friday, but a 7-day cruise. And I will say this after, thank you, Ken Priest. Man, look at Ken Priest out of nowhere with that. Thank you, Ken. Absolutely. That'll buy a lot of throat lozenges. Yeah, I started to lose my voice. Thursday night on the cruise, I was like, oh man, well, at least I got 7 days in. I got home Friday and I drove back. I get back Friday afternoon and my phone rings. I'm in the house and I picked up the phone. I went, hello. Oh, I lost my voice. I hung up, text, and I've been trying to rest it all weekend. I'm feeling good now, but all right. So 7 days Mexican cruise, and I'm going to start off with this. Thank you to Susan Shumsky. There is so much work that goes into any conference that is on land. You do something like this on a boat in international waters. That's a whole nother level of commitment to the community. And the conference was amazing. It was perfect. The cruise was perfect. So we Let me shuffle some things around here for a second, and so just stay with me. The first day of the cruise, which was Friday morning. Okay, so Friday morning we get together and have our what's the word for this? What do you call it when you get together and you talk about the rules and safety and whatever? So we get together, we do that. We took a group photograph and things, but that was on Friday morning. Now the ship is still in port, and so we are doing our thing, getting our gift bags and stuff. Presentations are going to start later on in the afternoon. But we break, and I walk out, and I get on the elevator, and there was a couple of teenagers on there. And I go, have we set sail yet? They look at me, and they go, dude, we've been out for 2 hours. I said, the ship is sailing? They go, yeah. And they're laughing at me. I had no clue. I did not, nobody did, felt it move. I don't hear engine noise. It's not vibrating. It's not nothing. And I go up into my stateroom and I walk through, and we're on the open ocean. And I walked out on the balcony and I looked down. I just kind of looked. We're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. And I had no idea. It's like standing on your driveway. It's that motionless. I mean, I could not believe it. And then I look out the back. This was like the signals of what was about to happen that week. I'm standing on the balcony, and I see something, and I look, and there is hundreds. When I say hundreds, later people mentioned thousands, but there were hundreds of dolphins. Right here, catching the waves. And I could see, and on the other side of that, I saw a video of the other side of the ship, and it was like 10 times of what I was seeing. But it was incredible. The dolphins were having a really good time. Okay, so let's get to it. These pictures are in order. Okay? So they are in order. They're not any specific thing. These are in order as they were taken. Now, some were sent to me, and there might be a couple that pop up out of order. But as far as what was taken on my phone, this is in order. And this is a picture of Barbara. And Barbara, check this out. I'm at dinner with Barbara a couple of years ago, and it was a cast and crew dinner of a TV series that was being filmed. She's sitting next to me at the dinner table, and she turns to me and she goes, I know your brother, Danny. I said, what? I know your brother, Danny. I know him well. I said, where do you live? And she tells me. I went, you do know I do. And so here she is on the cruise. She's amazing. She's a contactee. And just an amazing soul, just really, really cool. It was great to hang out with Barbara. So that is Barbara. Okay, I don't know what's popping up in these pictures. We're going to just do this in real time. Dr. Sandra Rose Michael, there she is. She was there on the ship. Oh, by the way, Ron James, see that T-shirt I'm wearing? Roswell. Ron James designed that shirt. Anyway, that's Dr. Sandra, and she was, of course, a presenter on the cruise. She had her EE systems on the boat, that's another thing I'm going to have her on the show to discuss all of that. She lives in Hawaii. She is very funny, very smart, very cool. And I got to hang out with her all week long. But there she is in person right there. She's so cool. So cool. Let's see what we got next here. Adam Apollo. Now, as you can see, all of these pictures were taken at the same time. This is when we took the group photo. And there's that looks like it's green screen. It's not. That is the background on the main stage there. But that's Adam and I right as we boarded the boat. So there you go, Adam Apollo. He lit it up all week long, and now I've got a lot more pictures and video than what we're going to see tonight. I can't pack it all into one show, but I've got a lot of stuff and presentations. I think I've got Adam on video tonight, and we'll get to that here in just a second. So there's Adam. Okay, this is the view. This is my balcony. This is looking towards the back of the boat. And there you go. You can see, again, this is all taken in order. This was when they said we're out to sea. You can tell each day on the cruise by what shirt I'm wearing here. I'm wearing the Roswell shirt. This is when I walked up to my stateroom. And I walked out, and we were, man, you could probably see dolphins right here. Yeah. The dolphins were going nuts. But that is the view out of my stateroom. My stateroom was right in the middle of the ship. I've got a shot of the ship, I'm sure, at some point, but right in the middle. Right in the middle. Now, I'm going to say this about a cruise. You don't know how big these ships are. You don't. You see them in pictures. You have no idea. And you find out very quickly when there's 3 sets of elevators, one in the front, one in the back, and then one in the middle. But when it seems that every single time you get on the elevator, you're on the wrong end of the ship, and you got to walk the length of the ship. It's bizarre. And I did it 20 times a day. I was always on the wrong. We got to walk. Oh, man. And you go out on the deck, or you go into your hallway, and you look down the hallway that disappears at the end, and you got to walk that length of that. And then when you're done, you got to come back out and walk the whole length again, and go back down, and then walk to it's insane how big these ships are. It's insane. You're not prepared for that. This, again, I'm wearing the Roswell shirt. This is right outside of my stateroom, and this is the view looking into the promenade. Beautiful ship. You'll see it in the video here in just a second. There's Jason Shirka. And this is, now I'm wearing a suit. So this is the panel that night with Adam was on that panel and Jason Shirka. But there we are getting ready for the panel. Also that night, Nick Pope did an excellent presentation. I've got so many pictures of Nick. Hanging out with Nick all week was very, very special. And he was so excited about the hearing and the progress of things. But we were first night on the ship. First night. I don't think it was the second. I think it was the first night. Myself and Scott Walter, second night on the ship. We find this little bar in the back around where there wasn't a lot of volume and stuff. And we're sitting at this bar, and there's this family sitting next to us. And, like a couple of brothers and a brother-in-law kind of thing. They're sitting here next to me. And they're hearing Scott Walter and I talk. And this guy goes, "Hey, man, can I ask you a question?" I said, "Yeah, sure. What do you do?" And I went, "Okay." And I knew it. I said, "Hey, man, it's great to meet you." I said, "Okay, cool. It's great to meet you too." And then he says, "Was that Nick Pope walking around on the ship?" I said, "It was." I knew it was Nick. And people watch Ancient Aliens, man. They do. They really do. And that was really funny how that guy goes, I knew that was Nick Pope. So anyway, now this was the gang of five right here. It's the five of us. So let me take you through here. Obviously, that's Scott Walter. That's myself. That's Mia next to me. And of course, Sarah Breskman Cosme. And that is Katie down on the end. Katie and Mia were friends, our friends, and they came on the cruise together. They both live here in LA, but we just became fast friends and we did everything together for the week. My voice is starting to go. But it was breakfast, lunch, dinner, shore trips, everything. It was the five of us doing it together. And Mia, so cool. Katie, so cool. I've got video of Katie singing. She's an amazing singer-songwriter, but she grabbed the microphone a couple of times on the trip and got up and sang. But the five of us, just friends for life now, the five of us, tremendous. Oh, here's my stateroom, everybody. I think I took one picture, and this is it. But that's my view. You can see, I think there's a cup of coffee sitting out there. But it was an amazing room, big too, as well. King size bed down on the end of the room, but had a couch, a desk, great bathroom, just amazing. And I spent all of my time on that balcony. Look at that. This is great. Every night when I got back, every night when I was turning in, I walked into that room and looked in the mirror and said out loud, that was a perfect day. Perfect. Perfect sleep, slept with the sliding glass door open, listening to the ocean, slept like a rock, woke up early, went down, breakfast, conference, lunch, conference, dinner, a couple of things, hanging out with friends, and back, and just perfect. The service, the people, the ship, everything just perfect. This is day number 2, and this is heading towards Cabo. This is my morning breakfast there. This is that's Sarah. This is formal night. We had 2 of them. This is the first formal night, and getting dressed up. Yep, I am in a suit. But there you go. And Sarah, the best, an amazing week. We just adopted each other at the beginning of the thing and said, let's do everything together. Let's just do everything. And we did everything together all week. And it was amazing. And thank you, Sarah. I really needed that kind of week with a friend. She's an amazing friend. But the 2 of us we just said to each other, let's just do everything. And we did. It was great. Let me tell you something. Her husband, her kids, they've got the coolest woman in the world in their lives. I'm just telling you right now. And I borrowed her for the week. It was so cool. So there you go. That's us on formal night 1. Yeah, I bet her hubby and kids missed her. They were sending her videos of them starving to death, rolling around on the floor. Oh, there's nothing to eat. It was great. So there you go. All right. Here we are. This is formal night 1. And there's Bob Terrio. We were just talking about Bob. That's his wife, Heidi. There's Mia. There's the 4 of us. Scott Walter is not at the table yet. And there you go. This is at the beginning of formal night 1. Just incredible. Now, let me pull this out. And I'm looking at the clock. Check this out. This is a video give you an idea of the ship, I think I go down and interview. I haven't watched the whole video, and I shot so many like this, but check this out. Check this out. Going down. This is Navigator of the Seas. I'm Jimmy Church here at the Hidden Secrets
Deck 4.
Seminar at Sea Cruise.
Doors opening.
How you doing? I need to go this way.
Ready for clue number 3? Clue number 3, in 1921, it became a protocol of newly independent.
Pretty cool. Ship is beautiful. I want to thank Susan Shumsky not only for inviting me, but putting on just an amazing conference. We're going to go downstairs in a second. But now we're on the deck number 4. I'm staying at number 7, way up there, but obviously I'm facing the ocean on the outside of the ship. But those are rooms there. And there's the theater. Okay, so now we're going to continue going down. Okay, one more level down. Now we're in the conference center. Yeah, pretty cool. Oh, look. Who's that dude? Oh, there's Susan. Susan, say hello.
Hello.
Thank you. Thank you. I was just thanking you on the elevator on this.
Yeah.
This is Susan. Thank you. Not only for inviting me personally, but for putting on a great event. So much work goes into this, and absolutely, the ship is as smooth as the conference.
That's for sure.
I mean, it doesn't. You know what I mean? And the conference is smooth too as well.
Going smoothly now. Yeah.
Do people expect? Can I ask you this before I know you're busy? But do people expect a ship to be doing this?
I think they do.
Right.
Because they don't know that these huge liners have stabilizers on them that create a very smooth.
And you don't
sort
hear
of rocking like a baby thing, but
you don't hear a thing. You don't hear the engines.
No engine.
You don't hear the weather. You don't hear. It's just quiet and peaceful and serene.
It is.
And everybody's smiling and happy. Is it because of the food? Everybody's so well fed.
That must be it. Actually, there was like 1,000 dolphins that were.
Did you see? I watched that last night, and I had said this morning in my live stream, I thought I might sound like I'm exaggerating.
Right.
When I said there was like 1,000 dolphins following the ship last night.
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it?
That's what I hear. I didn't personally see them.
Oh,
I
it was
wish I
crazy.
had.
They were partying. They were just in and out. They were riding the waves.
Yeah.
I was watching them. They like to surf.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
So Dr. Sandra said it's because of the frequency of the EE cube is the frequency of dolphins and whales and that sort of thing. So she said that they were attracted to that EE system, and that's the reason they were riding with us.
It was what do you call a herd of dolphins?
A pod?
A pod?
Yeah.
It was a ginormous,
It's a
pod.
ginormous pod. Yeah.
But again, thank you. Susan, thank you for inviting me. She said to me today, Jimmy, that's it. Every seminar from here on out, I'm going to get you back. So much fun. Everybody, please, the next event, we'll keep you posted, but you've got to come out and cruise with us. It's just amazing. Thank you so much, Susan. You're the best.
Thank you.
And now here's the conference center. Thank you, Susan.
Yeah.
And I don't know who's on stage.
But
it's Adam
there's
Apollo.
a lot of amazing work that's pointed to this sort of time of change and the great Baktun cycles, the 26,000 year cycle of precession, which also may vacillate to 24,000, depending on the arc or depending on the ecliptic. And as we get into this process and look at these connections, what we see is that the Maya had a sense of time so much vaster than we hold today. Today we think about next year or next decade. The Maya thought about the next 5,200 years, or 13,000 years, or 26,000 years. The Maya's understanding points to a level of advancement in mathematics and science that is just not that well known. So I traveled all around Mexico to look at these pyramids and megalithic sites, and what I found is that most of them had a lot of rebuilding. Places like Teotihuacan have been rebuilt 9 times. Now, with the level of moisture content down in the Yucatan and up into Mexico, you can understand that this is a lot different than Egypt. Egypt, very dry for a very long time. Mexico, very wet. So what is underneath all of those constructions? If we get into the heart of Teotihuacan, there's evidence there may have been mercury pools deep underneath the pyramid.
So to give you an idea, right, of the size and you've got to go. I know what you're thinking. I should have gone. You should have gone. You should have come with us. I'll admit I didn't expect it to be that perfect and that much fun. No, it was just divine. Every last second of it. And so what I just showed you was one little sliver section of the ship. It's like that from bow to stern. It's just beautiful. So many shops and restaurants and activities. And oh, by the way, before you ask about the water slide, I didn't do it. No, I didn't do it. Talked about it, had my shorts. Sarah and I were going to do it like 2 or 3 times, and it just got away from us. It got away, and it was like, oh man. So how great was it? It was that great. I didn't have the time to go and do it. Saw it. I just it was so funny. We were I'm looking at the clock here. We were on what do you call it? One of the boats to go to shore, and we were looking up at there's a section of that's glass, and you can it's see through. And we were watching people, and we're like, man, it's going to be great. It's going to be. We just didn't do it. And okay, let's get back to it. This shot here is pulling into Cabo, and I woke up that morning and I had breakfast on my balcony, and I was not prepared. No. Look at the color. This is straight off my phone. This is not altered in any way. Look at that blue water. It's nuts. The blue sky and that's Cabo in the background. Yeah, it was. What kind of Technicolor voodoo is this? Just walk out and the sky and the water and it was magic. That was some voodoo magic. And look at this. That's just a shot straight off my camera, straight off my phone. Look at that. Man. So next year, you just have to go. So then, okay, here's the Navigator of the Seas. And if you look, let me back up. Okay, no, you can't see it here. Okay, so let me go back forward. This is Navigator of the Seas. My room was right here, right in the center of the ship. So that's deck 7. And right there, you can see in some of the shots, and maybe you can see these balconies from some probably giant suites or something sticking out in one direction. But I was right here, like 4 or 5 staterooms down from this lump, right in the middle. But look at that beautiful ship. It's crazy. It's crazy. Just insane. Just insane. Everything on the ship. This is the water slide sticking out in the back right here. This is the pool deck here. We did sky watches every night, and in the on the top of the ship right here, this is a miniature golf course, and that's where we went for our sky watches each night. And I personally did 2 of them, and it was just amazing. But anyway, a gorgeous ship. There it is, the Navigator of the Seas. Okay, so we go to Cabo Wabo, and I snuck into the nightclub. We sat on the outside, but that's Sammy's band, The Circle. They were playing that night, and there's their setup on the stage. We were there at noon, and we obviously could not stick around for 12 hours to watch Sammy play. But there it is, man. Cabo Wabo. It's real. So cool. This is Cabo at night. This is as we got back. And I walked out. I changed clothes and walked out on the balcony, and that was my view. It's a little pirate ship. And here's the class photograph. And so there is everybody. Let's see if I can pick out some people. There's Rob Potter. There's Jennifer Stein. There's Adam Apollo, myself. There is Scott Walter. There's Susan Shumsky right there. And there's Ruben Langdon. All right. There's Heather and her husband, Ben. I'm going to have Heather on the show here in a couple of weeks. There's Dr. Sandra. I'm just scanning through here. But there you go. There's Vivian Chauvet right there. And yeah. That is a nice group of people. And to have it was sold out. That was it. We were maxed out. So there you go. There's the class photograph. Okay. When we come back after the break, I'll explain this picture here. This is our ATV group from the ship. And there's our ATVs in the background. After we were done, we all came down in front, and I got everybody together to take a picture. But look at the dirt on everybody. Just everybody is completely covered in dirt. Look at my man here. Look at it, just covered in dirt. And it was great. And I told everybody, I said, now, these two here, right here, insane on the quads. And this is mother and daughter. And I was watching the girl here with the tats and the tank top. She was I was watching. She was out of control on the quads. Half of the dust on me is from her. But there you go. Look at all the dirt. Look at that. Look at the dirt. We were just all covered in dirt. That was so much fun. So with that, I'm going to take a quick break. I'll be right back. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Please visit all of our sponsors. We're taking a quick break here. All of the links are below. And we'll be right back. This is Jimmy Church, and I want to introduce you to LifeWave's X39 stem cell activation patch, which has totally transformed my health, my sleep, brain, and my eyes. I no longer need reading glasses. X39 is a true breakthrough in regenerative science. Using light, X39's patented age reversal technology is clinically proven to signal the activation of younger stem cells, accelerating the body's natural healing process. X39 promotes restoration and rejuvenation, bringing the life-changing benefits that I've experienced. By naturally elevating a master signaling peptide in the body, X39 boosts vitality, health and wellness, and resets 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state. It's one patch, once a day, and you can turn back time with X39. Just go to healingworksnow.com. That's works with an X. healingworksnow.com.
Hey everybody, it's Billy Carson, also known as Forbidden Knowledge. I want to talk to you about a very special event coming up July 30th, 2023, the Forbidden Conscious Awards. We're going to honor people who have been contributing to the conscious community for decades. People that you know and love that have helped you get to higher levels of thought and consciousness and awareness. It's going to be a live in-person event, but seats are going to sell out very fast. You want to make sure you're there in person, and guess what? You can help vote for the winners. Voting is available on forbiddenknowledge.com, and the categories are going to be social media influencer, podcast/radio host, TV host, actor, director, producer, entrepreneurs, health and wellness, philanthropists, authors, field researchers, archaeologists, space anomaly hunters, and of course, a Lifetime Achievement Award. I'll be your keynote speaker that night at the Forbidden Conscious Awards. We have celebrity guests performing. We'll have a halftime show where we're actually going to perform music for you. And don't forget about the pre-event mixer, where if you buy a box seat, you'll be in the VIP section, and you also have private access to a VIP mixer with celebrity guests, shake hands, break bread, network, and then walk the red carpet with us and take amazing photos. It's gonna be a night to remember. You don't wanna forget this. Make sure you hurry up and get your tickets because they're selling out very fast. I wanna see you there. Forbidden Conscious Awards 2023.
April 7th through the 14th, 2023, I'll be hosting and presenting on the Hidden Secrets Seminar at Sea Cruise. From Los Angeles to the Mexican Riviera on the Navigator of the Seas. That's right, up top, a giant water slide. You've got to check out the Navigator of the Seas. It's amazing. We've got Scott Walter, Adam Apollo, Nick Pope, Brad Olson, Vivian Chauvet, Jason Shirka, Robert Grant, Ruben Langdon, and another 12 amazing speakers and presenters. It's all simple to do. Just visit divinetravels.com/Hidden Secrets 2023. You know you want to go on a cruise with me. River Moon Coffee, makers of the Fade to Black blend. Truly the best coffee on planet Earth. Just visit rivermoonwellness.com or their Amazon store. It's all simple to do. You can check out the Fade to Black blend, the Game Changer blend, or any of their Black Moon Wellness products. It's the only coffee I drink. It is the best, and it's Doc. Again, rivermoonwellness.com. All right, welcome back, Fade to Black. Doing a Hidden Secrets Revealed Cruise full-on recap tonight. And right before the break, I showed a picture of the group from the ship that went out for the ATVs. And we had Honda quads. Amazing. When I first boarded the ship, I mean, I just walk on, and I go up to customer service to do a couple of things. And as I'm standing there, Sarah Breskman Cosme comes up. Jimmy, Sarah, what's going on? And we started talking. So what are you planning to do? And I said, well, this, and I'm going to book the ATV cruise. ATV, like quads? I said, yeah. She goes, I want to do that. And I said, okay. So we went over and we booked that together. And we went to, it was in Puerto Vallarta where we did that. And so what I have here is a series of shots that were taken by the ATV company, Canopy River. They were just unreal. It's on the top of a mountain in Puerto Vallarta, and literally on top of a mountain where they have this ginormous, probably seats 1,000 Beautiful outdoor restaurant on the top of this, just scenic. It was just incredible. So up there, we're kind of getting a vibe on this operation. It's just so well run. It just perfect. So anyway, but what is great about these shots that I'm about to show you is we start out clean. Okay. So here's the first shot. We've just arrived, and just take note. We are clean. We are clean. I have some additional photographs too as well, but this is what the company sent us. Here's another shot. Okay. So here we go. There we are. Look at my feet. We take off. And I've got a lot of shots here, so I'm just going to bang through this. So cool. I'm fishtailing here, by the way. And I thought to myself, and so was she, I'm wondering if I'm going to get in trouble. But every time I saw a camera guy, I kicked up the dust. But look at that. We are so the drive itself was about 3 hours. And we took a couple of stops, a couple of breaks. You have to. When we ran 45 minutes or an hour on the first run, and I mean, you are worn out. You're worn out, and you're hauling, but it's not slow, and it is it's mad skills, hairpin turns up and down the mountain, across a couple of rivers, and yeah. Oh, here I changed my glasses. Now I'm wearing goggles. Yeah, the first like 10 minutes, I'm like, glasses aren't going to work, man. You need to wear goggles on this. And the bandanas are totally necessary because the dust and what is happening. Yeah, I'm fishtailing right here. Kicking it out. Look at that. Just so much fun. Okay. So there's that. Let me see what I've got coming up next here. Just stay with me. Okay. Here we go. I can continue. Here's Scott Wolter. And speaking, Scott also, we're really close friends, and to be able to spend 7 days with Scott all day, all night, was just so much fun. And here, the thing I can say about Scott is this: he's all about rocks, and you get him started in a conversation. And all he wants to do is talk rocks. What I didn't realize is how everybody else is into rocks. And you get Scott started and he cannot stop. And it was one person after another coming up and striking a conversation with Scott about rocks. And it just got to the point where it's like, man, I can't talk about rocks anymore. I can't do it, but not Scott. Oh no. Scott can talk rocks. Here's Sarah giving one of her presentations, and here's what ended up happening on the last night of the cruise. Jimmy, I'm sitting in the living room watching a slideshow. I know, isn't it cool? I've got some more video here too as well. I'll get that in. On the last night, I hosted our last panel with all of the speakers and with everybody, and one speaker after another. And we took questions from the audience. the one thing that was repeated from everybody was how great Sarah was on this cruise and the presentations that she gave. You don't hear that too often, but it was everybody. She did a regression live that I sat in the back and watched that go down. I watched somebody go under and the process of that, and then the session. She's really good. She is really good. So, and there might be a regression in my future. So there's that. Okay, here's the gangsta shot of the week. How gangsta is this? And the answer is none more gangsta. That's what I'm talking about right there. I did it. I did. So this is formal night, and this is the cruise photographer, and so there's these families that are getting up there and couples, and they're doing their. That was great. That was great. And there was a long line of people to get their shots taken. That's not what we did. No, we took that shot, and there were people like going, "Who is this guy?" Yeah, and there was a few dudes standing there going, "Man, that's pretty cool. That's rock and roll." But there you go. That is gangsta. I just got to look at this myself. That's pretty cool right there. That's gangsta. Okay, so here is a shot. I took a selfie. There's Maureen St. Germain, absolutely amazing. There's Ted, our AV guy, who I've been working with for years. He's amazing. And so we just stood up and I had everybody wave and took the shot. But that's not what's cool about this shot. You know what's cool about this shot is Ruben Langdon right there. That's my man. Now you cannot unsee Ruben, can you? You can't do it. Ruben. That's what I'm talking about. That's a great shot right there. Ruben, who did a couple of CE5s ceremonies and meditations, and of course with Misha Johnson, the Sky Watches up top. Ruben, such a funny guy and so cool and everything, but he is so grounded and so together. And I really appreciated the way that he would get everybody going on breath work and centering and calming the mind. It's really cool. Really, really cool. So anyway, and then so Mr. Cool did that right there. My man. Okay, so this is Katie, and this is one of the guys that works on the ship, and every day he had a different costume on. I was on the other end getting an ice cream cone, but I saw this picture being taken, and so I did that. That's what I'm talking about. Right there. Great shot. Look at that shot. And I just photobombed. Yeah. I'll do it again too. Cabo, there's Sarah, and there we are at our table. Look at my face. I made it to the promised land. I made it to Cabo. And there's a shot of Scott. Okay, so now let me run. We came back, and on one of the elevators, they stuffed a piano on the elevator. Okay, maybe you're not understanding what I'm saying. They stuffed an upright piano, not a little electric piano on a little stand, a full-on upright piano on the elevator. And I walked on and did this.
off of Van Halen 2. Play Jump.
Oh, hi there. How's that going?
Come on. This is great, right? When was the last time you had a piano in the elevator?
Just making that up on the fly.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. Pretty good, it's pretty good.
Thank you guys. So we took a bit of Metallica.
That's insane. Oh man.
I did not know that I forgot that I shot that. Oh man, the ice cream cone was that tall. Yeah. So that gives you a vibe, and that's the top. I didn't know that video. I thought it was just the elevator thing where, of course, when he says name anything, and Van Halen 2, and how cool is that? I forgot about the ice cream cone thing. There you go. All right, I've got let's go back to some more pictures, and then I've got some more video too as well. Scott, Walter, and I. That picture was sent to me. That's why it's out of order. This is me the next day after Cabo Wabo. This is another shot that was sent to me. Okay, this isn't my camera. But there we all are. But I'm wearing my Cabo Wabo shirt. Yeah, so that is the next thing. Yeah, I bought me some Cabo shirts. But Nick Pope, Sarah Breskerman Cosme, Scott Walter, Vivian Chauvet, and Adam Apollo, and myself doing a conversation about ET contact throughout history. It was a great panel right there. That was a lot of fun. And here we are. That's Jennifer Stein, and coming in. She was photobombing. It was so much fun for me to crack a joke. But the point is, look how good Scott and Sarah and Jessica look in this picture. Great, out to sea, formal night, having dinner. There we go. This was sent to me. I just got this today. And this is Vivian Chauvet and her husband, Pete. And this was some selfies that they took, and she texted them to me earlier today. Thank you for that, Vivian. This shot here, this is, I had to take it because I didn't expect it to be this big. This is the Royal Theater on the ship where they have the musicals, and the last night we were there, they had a great comedy show and comedian on board. But this place was rocking every single. Look at the size of this thing. You hear about it, but when you go and you see this in person, it's crazy how big the theater was. I had no idea. I didn't. I wasn't expecting that at all. So there you go. And let me pull this out. And let's see. Where am I at? Oh, I have a shot. I have this video of Cabo. Yeah. Darlene. Scott, pretty nice, huh?
We got a pirate ship over here. And the skull and crossbones, I gotta teach them the origin of that symbol.
Scott,
Temple of Simba.
I don't think that's a real pirate ship.
What?
Scott's been drinking all day. He's been drinking.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Ponce de Leon, dude, was on that boat, dude.
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah, this is beautiful. I mean, this is just insanely beautiful.
I know!
This is great. Oh, Red Rum. Look at the name of the boat, Red Rum.
They're going fishing.
Oh, this is a nice little, look at this. And that is a nice boat. I like that. That's my speed right there.
I like that boat. Very nice.
Oh, look at the size of this. Okay, so this sailboat right here coming up, private, it's right around the corner.
Did you see the seal in the water?
Yeah. But look at this sailboat right here. That's a world's. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. That thing is huge. What do you think that is? 100 feet? 150?
Oh yeah, that's all of that. Like 100.
Yeah. Look at
Maybe more. Maybe 120.
that is a beautiful boat.
Sunrise.
Oh, we're here. We're docking. Okay. Time for Scott to sneak through customs.
What's that?
I said time for Scott to sneak through customs.
Hey, I'm not carrying anything on me. Jimmy, stop talking about that.
All right, we're here in Cabo. Hidden Secrets Cruise, Navigator of the Seas, shore trip, day 1. So, Cabo. Okay, I'm just listen to me. You've got to come on the next cruise. Now, there's one coming up going to Alaska, and I'm working on that right now, and that's in September. And so I'll keep you posted on that, and that's going to depart out of Seattle up to Alaska and back 7 days. So that's bubbling right now. Okay, it's if I can fit it in my schedule, I would love to do it. I'm completely sold on the cruise life. I had no idea. You see the movies, the TV series and all. Yeah, but you're not fully prepared. If you've never been on a cruise, you don't know. It's perfect. The other thing is, you expect, this. No, you don't even know the boat is moving. We had some rough seas for 2 nights. You could see it, you could hear it. Then the wind and everything. Boat was just flat. Now, the boat never moved. You don't hear it. You don't hear the engine. You don't hear there is no sensation of motion. It's crazy. Then you go out on the decks. You saw that ice cream video, right? You're walking through the inside and you're doing your thing, and then you go out and out onto the decks and see all the life of everybody just having a great time. But you see the ocean, and you realize, man, we are at sea. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm totally sold on the cruise life. So you've got to go on the next one. I am completely in on this. Just such a great time. I do want to thank Susan Shumsky again, and Ted, and everybody, the whole crew that put on that conference. I just from the bottom of my heart, just thank you. Just an honor and a privilege to be a part of it. And just so seamlessly perfect, just perfect. Now, before I let you go, I'm totally losing my voice. I am fighting to keep it to the bitter end here. So I can feel it going. Here is what I learned. Okay. Packing. Okay. So it was a 7-day cruise. So I took 10 shirts. I took 10 of everything. I took 3 suits. And I packed everything. Pretty good. I should have packed more, but I got through it. Okay. But here's what I learned. At the end of the cruise, they offer to come and pick up your luggage the night before. You put it out in the hallway. They give you tags, and your stuff will be waiting for you below after you clear customs. Right? Okay. I didn't do that. I drove. So my car is sitting at Royal Caribbean's in the parking lot. Right? So I'm thinking to myself, they give you the option, right? You can leave. You can leave the ship first. Handle your luggage. You can walk straight out, go through customs, and go to your vehicle. I'm like, that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So we pull into port into LA, and I've got my luggage, and I brought a bigger suitcase than my normal 4-wheel or smaller one. I got a big one, and it's only got 2 wheels, the ones that you tilt. I've also got a laptop case. I've got a backpack, and I've got my suit bag and my suitcase. Put everything on. I've got 2 things on my shoulders. I've got my thing, and I hit the road. So I take the elevator down to the gangway on the 4th deck. So far, so good. And I walk out. My throat's about to go. And I walk out. And this was the part that I wasn't prepared for. The walk. So down the gangway, down, around, okay, all the way over to here. And I'm like, man, how far do I got to go? I'm walking. And this is after a week of walking on that ship. Man, I put in my 10,000 steps a day, and so I'm walking, and my things are starting to get heavy, my shoulders, like, what? Then in the customs building, and they zigzag you around, okay, this, what? These hallways are down, around, and then we come into this big room, and you got to go all the way across, and then go through customs, which was nothing. Customs was not. I'm like, I got to take a break. I can't. That's it. I've been walking for 45 minutes down, and I thought I was going to be in my car and driving home in 5 minutes. No. And so now I clear customs. I walk through. I'm outside. And I'm like, I got to take a break. And I put everything, because I don't even know where my car is in this massive parking lot. What direction am I going in? And as I'm standing there, who walks up? Scott Walter. He doesn't have his luggage. He's got it all taken care of. He's just walking around doing his thing. He's all fresh. Me, I feel like I was just dropped down a flight of stairs. And we hug and kiss. He splits. He's on his way to LAX, but his bags are being taken care of. I go out. I have to break out my phone, hit my GPS, my car locator, and I find it. And I'm on the opposite. I'm like, oh man. Okay, so that's what I learned. Have the cruise ship handle that. This is my advice. Let them pick up your luggage the night before. Let them do. You just want to walk off the ship. You want to walk down. For me, I have my car. Walk out, get your car, come back around, and pick up your luggage, and then go. Don't carry it for 15 miles the morning after the cruise.
So that's what I learned. Other than that, which was my mistake, it was a perfect trip, perfect seminar, perfect food. Can I, real quick before I go, I got to mention the food. Again, something I wasn't prepared for. And I'll tell you about the bill too, as well, what I spent. The food is amazing. It's 24 hours, and everything that you've ever desired is there, like 24/7. And you can do the cruise and not spend a nickel. The food is part of the package. Now, there's upscale restaurants there, which was all cheap, considering, the upcharge, whatever, $20, $30. You're going to spend that at any restaurant these days. You're going to spend that at McDonald's. So that's really not that big of a deal. We went on the last night of the cruise. We went at this top shelf sushi restaurant on the 14th deck. 14th deck. 14 stories up. Boom, top of the ship. Incredible view. And that full-on 6-course sushi order, whatever, $30. It's $31. That's unheard of. But if you don't do any of that, you can literally eat and drink 24 hours a day and not spend an extra dime. The only extra money that I spent on the cruise was a Starbucks. Conveniently, now they have free coffee all over the ship, but conveniently, they've got a full-on Starbucks on like every deck. Every time you turn around, there's a Starbucks. And they make it real easy. You just pop, and so my bill at the end of the trip was all Starbucks. What can I say? But that's it. You can, when you go, the main restaurant there, it's called the Windjammer, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's big. Everything that you can possibly imagine is there. Whatever it is that you're thinking, it's there and being cooked for you. The dining room, which is amazing. The service, that's all part of the cruise. And it's a full-on menu, chef selection, whatever. And a lobster night, prime rib, whatever. Everything was on that menu. It was, so that part of it, which a lot of people are confused about when it comes to a cruise. And I'm stating this because this was my first real cruise. And with the full-on real cruise experience on a real cruise ship. And there are questions that everybody has. I've got all those answered. You can literally not spend a nickel at all, anywhere. It's nuts. Those ice cream cones were free. There is on that deck right next to that ice cream cone place is this street taco stand. Yeah, right there. Just crazy. All right, my voice is gone. It's failing me. So I'm gonna get out of here. Again, Hidden Secrets revealed. I left the commercial up for this show tonight. You can go to that website and look at all of the, man, my throat's gone. It's gone. It's cracking. And go and check out the other cruises. And if I do this cruise to Alaska, I will announce that as well. That is September 1st. So that is it. Tomorrow night on Fade to Black, I have Les Velez here. Very excited about this. I've known Les for many, many years. First-time guest.
And tomorrow night, we're going to talk about E.T. Contact and his organization, Opus. All of that tomorrow night with Les Velez. And that's it for now. This is Jimmy Church signing off. This is Fade to Black. And I hope everybody enjoyed this little full-on recap of the Hidden Secrets cruise that we took to Mexico. So much fun. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. I would like to welcome aboard Michelle Freed, who is now helping me produce the show. Thank you to Webmaster Drew, The Geek Music, Doug Aldrich, Intro, Spaceboy, SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2023 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. Until tomorrow night with Les Velez, I want you to be safe. Go back, Lee Tappy.